Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is a new Tuesday show for CLX Foundry Live. I'm your host, DJ Blue PDX, and join me live from the studio in very cold Wichita, Kansas. It is none other than our lead technical expert, Paul Steffens. Zach Killingsworth is out on assignment. Basically, he got lost in a snow berm.
He did. He snowed in.
Yeah. So, so how's your... our weather's been cold, but at least we are dry. I mean, it's been in the 20s, but clear skies. You guys, however, have had a very different experience.
Yeah, we've had a decent amount of snow, especially for here, probably like around 4 inches, depending on where you're at, 4 to 6 inches. Yeah, it's been frigid. It's like, I don't know, it's like 18 degrees when I came in here today. So,
yeah. I finally had to turn my fan to blow out. Unless it's below, like if it's 22 or below, I will close my window or at least leave it like down to a crack. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I like it cold in my room, but I start closing my bedroom door because I was freezing out my housemate.
Oh yeah,
in this room because I was just like, all the cold air is coming in. I'm just like, yes, I'm cold and I can breathe well. Mm-hmm. Nope, that didn't work out well. So we've got a project for today for somebody that who's this for?
This is for Marcos in Florida.
Marcos in Florida. Gotcha. So, what are we going to be doing with this?
All right, so this is a custom Horus. So, starting out with our processor, we've got the AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. To cool that, we've got our CLX Quench 360 AIO in black with RGB. For our motherboard, we've got the ASRock X870 Riptide Wi-Fi. And for our memory, we've got 2 sticks of G.Skill DDR5 6000 speed in black. So, a total of 32 gigs of DDR5 memory. For our storage drive, we've got a couple things. So, we got a 1 terabyte G50 and a 2 terabyte G50. So 3 terabytes of storage in this build. Got 8 of our GameDS Aeolus case fans that you've seen before on the show, and an 850 watt MSI power supply.
There we go.
Oh, also,
nicely
RTX
done.
5080. I forgot about the best part, the cool 5080.
Yes. Well, I mean, I would say it's a hot 5080 because
true.
It's only cold if you leave it outside.
That's right.
Now, there's an interesting way to cool your system. Make sure it's in a sealed environment so it's not going to get moisture in it, but just sit it outside in the snow. Mm-hmm. It'll never, ever get hot.
It will not overheat.
Is it possible to get your system too cold?
I mean, in theory, it probably is, but I don't think you could do it. People pour like liquid nitrogen on them, and it does fine. So,
yeah. Joey Wheel says, hey guys, it's freaking cold here in Central Florida. Yeah, I've heard, bro. You guys are having the weirdest winter ever.
It's cold in Central Florida, huh?
Central Florida is cold. They had snow in Northern Florida.
What cities are in Central Florida? What is that?
Tavares, Orlando.
Okay, yeah.
That's all Central. The weather is great there, Sister Cold. Jesus. Bragging is not cute. Just kidding. It's time to see Paul's skills. Yes, we got Ivory in the house.
Oh,
Cosworth,
yeah.
Yo. Hello, Winter.
Some people
Winter, you joining for some Dark Tide today? Right?
Ooh.
All right.
People questioned if I knew how to build. Today, we will all find out. Won't be as fast as Zach, that's for sure, but I can get the job done.
We'll work our way through it. Okay. So, first things up is we're going to grab our motherboard. Mm-hmm. I know, like, you have so much winter. I was going to ask how much snow you guys have, because I know that where you are in New York is just crazy right now. A couple of friends of mine live in downtown, and I have one friend who lives over in Manhattan. They're just like, this is ugly. This is disgusting, and I hate it. Oof. So, yeah. A couple of friends of mine who live up in Canada, I mean, Ivory can probably attest to this, that they live just west of Whistler and just buried. Just kind of like, well, good thing we went shopping.
Get bread, get milk.
Right? All right. So as you're getting this out of the package, now, Paul, what's your thoughts on saving this packaging, like specifically the anti-static case?
So this would be good to have if you're like a hobbyist builder or something like that. It's always nice to have anti-static. You don't have to just use this for a motherboard. It could be for an M.2 or some RAM or something like that. We use so much of it here, I just throw it away. But
there we go. Nice. Okay. Now, if you're going to be building your own system, the first thing you want to do once you get your motherboard out, this is the first thing you want to start playing with, is make sure that you get all of the plastic labeling stuff off. It's very important because as the board gets hot, those things can tend to melt, and that's not pretty. But let's take a look at this. This, of course, is our ASRock X870 Riptide Wi-Fi. Let's take a look at all the different connectivity here, which is great. You've got, starting at the top, you've got your HDMI. Then you got your two Wi-Fi antennas there and your CMOS clear. You got 4 USB 2s. And then you've got 2 USB 2 3.2 by 2 Type A. And then you've got 2 3.2 Gen 1 Type A. You've got your 2 Type Cs down there. And that is they are both Type C lightning ports, 40 gigs in and out. It's fantastic. And then you've got your 1 RJ LAN 45 there. And our other USB 3.1 port. There we go. And of course your audio and IR thingy. Spitif.
Spitif.
That's what they call it. The Spitif. That is such a word.
It is. It is.
Okay. So, first things first, we got to give the board a brain. Now, for this, we're going to be using an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. So this is a pretty impressive processor when it comes to their lineups. And it's an X3D, which gives it a little extra boosted power. So, Paul, tell me a little bit about this processor.
Yes, this is an 8-core, 16-thread processor, obviously from AMD. It's a great gaming processor. It has a base speed of 4.7, and it will boost all the way up to 5.2.
Nice. Impressive.
Yeah.
Now, once you get your processor in there and you've made sure you mounted it correctly because all the pins go where they're supposed to go, the next thing you've got to do is figure out how you're going to cool it. So for this, we're going to be using an AIO. Now, that stands for all-in-one. It is one of the 3 different, well, I guess technically 4 different types of ways you can cool a system. We're going to be using a CLX Quench 360 black RGB, but there are multiple other ways that you can do this. Paul, what are the other ways you can cool a machine?
Yeah, so you can do air cooling, which is just a block of metal with a fan on it and some fins cut into it. That is an option. If you want to stay away from air cooling, there are some good aftermarket ones out there that can keep up with the AIO, so not a terrible option there. And then we've got our closed loop system, like this one right here that we're doing, and then an open loop system is even cooler, but a lot more labor required in that.
And then there's that minor group that uses mineral oil or...
Oh, yeah, you can do that. Maybe one day we'll get one of those on the show. That'd be fun.
Right, that would be heavy. That's a heavy build. You got to put all that mineral oil in there, then you got to take it all back out to ship it.
Well, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we would ship that one. That one would stay in the office.
Right, there you go. Hashim, what's going on? It says Zach should put on some weight so he doesn't get blown away so easy. You're not wrong. All right. Now, as you're getting this set up, you're going to have to make sure you've got the right brackets because there are different brackets for different processors, whether it's AMD versus Intel. So how do you know which one to use?
So these bags are going to be labeled. I just tossed this one, but let me grab it. I think it's up here at the top. You're looking at socket type is what you are going for. Maybe I don't have it anymore. I don't see it. But essentially, you're looking for socket type. It's going to come with 3 to 4 different sets. So this is an AM5 socket. So the bag of hardware that we want should be labeled AM5.
Gotcha. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Gotta get over to you guys. There we go. So, now once we get this on there, what you're going to do is you want to make sure that you take a look at that thermal paste. That's that little circle of joy. It needs to go right on top of that processor, and then you're going to set that AIO down. Now, one thing that's definitely would be confusing is, well, how do I know which way to turn the hoses? Well, the CLX logo is obviously right side up, so we'll go that way. But what are some other considerations when you're putting these in?
The biggest thing is where you're going to be mounting this radiator. So we are going to be putting it in the top of the case. So we're wondering, like, you want to keep in mind where these hoses are going to go. So we're going to have it mounted in the case like this, but sometimes you might have it like that.
Nice. And when you're mounting this on, so that you get the right kind of spread on that thermal paste, what's the best practice?
So we just want to make sure it's tight. Now, I've got these all just screwed on by hand here, so they're not super tight. I'm going to go in a crisscross pattern, like if you were tightening a tire on your car or something like that. So I'm going to start in this corner here, bounce over here, and then just bounce around.
Drill, baby, drill. Let's see here. So Winter asked a good question. What's up, Necro? Winter asks, what coolers have the fan on the CPU and liquid cooling? Good question.
So there are some out there. There's a new Fantex one. I forget if it's like their new D30 line or if they're calling it somewhere else. But look up like Fantex Glacier 1. They've got a fan that's like right here where our logo is. It's kind of cool.
Nice. I think I have the old gen Glacier 1.
Oh, yeah.
With the infinity mirror? Yeah. That works well. I'm so glad I went and checked that wiring. It's like, oh! And then discovered it wasn't the wiring at all. It was the darn software.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check your updates, people. Check your updates. All right. Now, when you're putting this on, there's two ways you can do it when it comes to how you're going to plug this in. You can either just plug it in directly and have lots of loose cabling, which we would not recommend, or you can do what Paul's doing and very carefully maneuver this in and around the base of the processor, I would say, plate.
Yep.
Paul?
Yeah, so I'm just going kind of inside. You can see here, it takes a little bit of work. The first cable usually goes through pretty easy, but getting this second one through can be take a little bit of work, but we'll get it through.
Necrorizo, I am doing all right, man. I'm inside from the cold, and yeah, that's all I'm happy about right now, because it's not frigid. Although I am in the basement, but luckily Kevin's got glass projects in all the kilns, and so it is hot down here.
Oh yeah.
Winter says I want to have a CLX build with one. Ooh, interesting. With one of the Fantex ones.
We see it every now and then. It is available on our website that you can pick. I believe it's still available, I should say. It's been a bit. But so you'll see it every now and then, but it is pretty high end, so we don't see them a bunch.
Okay. Okay, so up next, we are going to, once we get this all fine-tuned and dialed in, we're going to put together something else on this board.
Yeah, we'll probably go to the RAM next.
Yep. All right. Let you get that out of the stuff. So for your RAM, and of course, there's lots of different options, but for this, we are going to have two 16 gig sticks of G-Skill, DDR5 6000 Rip Jaws in black. Now, the Rip Jaws, is there anything special about those?
Ripjaw is just one of their model lines. Like the first PC I ever built was DDR3, and it had G-Skill Ripjaws in it. So just kind of a model line
nice.
they've had for a while.
And that's what you call proper marketing, people.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's 30. Okay, it's only 39 degrees here in North Carolina. Winter says you want to trade with 10. Yeah. Let's see here. We are very lucky today because today it is 42. But yeah, it's gonna get real cold real fast.
Man, yeah, we're supposed to get up in the 50s and stuff next week, so it's kind of weird. Kansas is weird.
Anybody been watching all the Olympic prep? The tour is on, and there were several new additions to the torchbearers for the U.S., two of which were the stars of Heated Rivalry, Connor Story and Hudson Williams. And it was really interesting because watching how they rolled through Italy, and they got the option of going to this one town, and it was fun. It was a really cool thing to watch. I never actually watched the relay before, but yep, you go a little ways, and the next person comes out.
I've not seen that, but I'm ready for the Olympic hockey. We're ready for that.
Yep. That's going to start on the 6th.
That's going to be sweet.
The opening ceremony is the 6th. I believe the first game is either the 6th or the 7th. Women's hockey starts early. Starts, I believe, on the 2nd or 3rd. So right before the opening ceremonies, so we'll definitely get a chance to look at that. If you'd like to know more or watch it, you can check it out on Peacock or NBC. Dental plates, I don't know why I'm an advertisement for them. Jesus.
You can catch CLX Foundry live on Peacock and CBS. That would be cool.
God, that would be amazing.
Would be
All right,
sweet.
so first things first, let's talk about our operating system drive. This is where the operating system is going to go, and this is a 1 terabyte T-Force G50 NVMe M.2. Looks like a stick of gum, and it goes in fairly easy. So, Paul, when you're putting it in there, what's the key thing to think about?
The big thing is it goes in at about a 45-degree angle. You can see the way I put it in there. Typically, there's a locking tab on this side. Sometimes if there isn't, there's a screw you got to put in. Nowadays, if you get any from like a mid-tier to high-end board, it's going to have this locking tab here. So very easy to put these in. You don't need a tiny screwdriver or anything like that. So there we go. So we'll put the heatsink back on up top, and then we'll put in our secondary one below it.
Nicely done. Now, the secondary drive is going to be probably where they're going to put all their game files. That's what I did. And it's a 2 terabyte T-Force G50 NVMe M.2. So there's 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte. And I'll be honest, when we were going through the parts list before we started the show, all I saw was T-Force G50, and I thought G-Force G50, and I thought that's not a graphics card. Not even an old graphics card.
G-Force.
Dented Plate mentions that it was negative 22 Fahrenheit here last week. Where in the name of God do you live? Because that sounds horrible.
That is crazy. Look, I was looking for this screwdriver. It's hiding next to the motherboard.
Yeah, that's some wild temperatures there. Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Oh yeah, it can.
Gets a little cold there.
Yep. Very cold. I know Ivory's in Toronto, I believe, or somewhere up there in Canada.
They got the Oilers up there. They're a good team.
Yep. Super Bowl's coming up on the 8th. Who's got their bets for who's going to win?
Who do you think's
really
gonna
interesting
win,
games.
DJ?
Oh, Seahawks, hands down.
Hands down the Seahawks. All right.
The game between the Patriots and the Broncos was interesting, but Patriots walked away with the win on that one. The Seahawks and Rams, and it was a low score too. It was not a high scoring game.
Yeah.
The Seahawks and the Rams, however, was completely opposite. 31-27. Seahawks walked away with the win, and I was jumping up and down and screaming. So yeah, we have a tradition for the Super Bowl here over with me and my friends, and we go to my friend Paul's house, and my other friend Paul, and because he's a professional pool player, so we've got pool tables in his house with TVs all over, so we can watch the game, play some pool, we'll bring over food, and we just gorge out until nobody can fit in their pants anymore.
Nice.
Why I wear sweatpants.
Yes.
So who are you thinking?
I have no idea. Every team I have rooted for has gotten eliminated. Obviously, we're rooting for the Chiefs. They didn't even make the playoffs. So then we were rooting for the Lions. They didn't make it. Then I was rooting for the 49ers. They didn't make it. And then we were rooting for the Rams. They didn't make it. So, I don't know. I am like 0 for 100 right now.
I will, look, again, my two big teams are always Green Bay Packers and the Seahawks.
I'll root for the Seahawks then, since you're rooting for the Seahawks. But
yeah, Seahawks are good people.
Man, it's too bad about the Broncos, though. Bo Nix, man, breaking his ankle the game before, so that go on the
Dude, that was awful. I heard about that and I was like, what?
Unlucky.
Yeah, that's going to really change the lineup when you lose. You know, anytime you lose anybody from your primary offensive or defensive line, it's going to change the way the team works.
Yep.
Look at me talking about sports balls.
Look at it.
Last summer was high 90s or worse when we visited. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Well, try summers in Australia. You want to talk about hot? Oh, my God. It's like I feel like I'm about to just burst into ash.
Get hot down
stepping
there
outside.
in Australia?
Oh, yeah. But it's during our winter.
Oh, okay.
So if you go down there right now, it's like it is well over 100 degrees pretty much everywhere.
Shoot.
Yeah. All right, so now we've got our fans put onto the radiator for the pump. Now, the radiator is where all the liquid's going to flow into all those little bitty fins that you saw, so the air can go through that and cool it down. So, Paul, when you're putting these on, what's the best practice for which direction you're putting the fans on? How do you know which side to put it on?
Yeah, so I'm also keeping in mind where I'm going to have this, but I want air to be pushed through the radiator. So air is going to come in this top side, go through the radiator and out the top of the case. And then I always like to just put a little zip tie here. That way it's easier to pass these cables through the hole at the top of the case when we get there.
Oh, God. You know, there's moments when I realize it's so good that you are learning how to filter your mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it anyways. You said it. I'm like, yep. Just like the gas station, that airflow would come and go.
That's right. That's a good gas station right there.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh!
There's
a friend of mine has their
Jug
t-shirts.
and Loaf as well. Have you seen one of those in your travels?
Jug and Loaf.
Jug and Loaf. Yeah, it might be like a subsidiary Come and Go, but yeah, look it up. I think it's literally called Jug and Loaf.
That's fantastic.
Yep, there's some weird convenience store names out there.
So real quick, before you throw that board in there, let's take a look at what, because we oftentimes get to forget to do it. I want you to point out what the standoffs are, where they are, and why they're there.
Yeah, so these are standoffs right here. Now this is a good shot of them. You can see how high up they are. And what they do is protect the motherboard from the frame of the chassis, this area right here. Because if these weren't here, I could screw the motherboard directly into the case, and that would mount it, but then our motherboard would be shorting out. It could cause all sorts of issues. So depending on what case you get, these are going to come pre-installed. The ones in here are pre-installed. For ATX, you got 3, 3, and 3, which is pretty much most motherboards that are ATX. So
Nice. There we go. All right, now you're going to sit that thing down there. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing this, making sure you got your IO shield lined up with the hole. If your stuff isn't lining up and you don't see the standoffs underneath the little soldered holes on the board, check your stuff, because you could have either the wrong board on the wrong case, or you just need to move some of the standoffs around so they get into the right spot. You can see those little silver lined holes right there on this shot, which is great. And that's where your standoffs are going to be located, and that's where you want to put your standoff screws in.
yeah, and these don't have to be super tight. So if you're using a drill like what I'm using, make sure it's not on like max or anything. I usually keep this one on 5 for pretty much everything in the computer except for the fans.
Yeah, I have a Ryobi that you don't turn it down, it just rips things apart.
Yeah, you
like,
can
well,
definitely.
that happened.
We see people have their drill set up too high when they're putting these in. You'll know it because if you go to take them out, the screw will be like embedded in the standoff, so it can be a little bit of a pain. Yeah.
And you're just reefing on it, trying to get it to come undone. You strip the screw, then you can't get it out, and you have to break through the board to get it.
Exactly. Yeah, you like unscrew this screw that I'm putting in, but it will actually be unscrewing the standoff
itself.
So you get it out, and your motherboard's got like some nubs on the back.
All the nubbins.
All of
Now,
them.
is there a specific type of or a specific number of standoff holes that you should look for?
It depends on the form factor. So for ATX, you should look for 9. Some boards have 10. This one has a 10th one here. But most of them either have 9 or 10. Now, when you get to MATX, there's a little bit more variation. But yeah. If you're doing this at home and you're a hobbyist, you can probably get away with putting 4 in. We're professionals, so we do them all. But
Necrorizo says, Paul said Threadripper RAM, right? Isn't that used for servers and stuff?
Threadripper RAM. I am not familiar with Threadripper RAM. Maybe I misspoke. I don't remember any Threadripper RAM.
I know what a Threadripper is. I just don't know if they make RAM for with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely RAM like designed to work with Ryzen and designed to work with Intel, so there might be RAM designed to work with Threadripper, but I haven't seen it.
Threadripper approved.
That's right.
Nice.
All right, so these are my 3 fan cables that you can see coming out the back. I'm not worried about these right now. That's why I put a zip tie on the top, so I'm just going to let them hang while I mount our radiator.
There we go. One thing to note on this, you can see it right here, it's a perfect shot, is that there is a little space behind where the motherboard is mounted and where the back of the case goes, which gives a little bit of opportunity for you to manage your cable management in a better way. And as you can see, Fantex does a great job with those Velcro ties. You can see them on both sides of that, and that makes it easier for you to isolate and put together your various different cables. There's two sets. There is your case cables, and there's your power supply cables. So which one do you do first?
I typically start with my case cables. So that's what we'll do once we get this mounted. And then we will, which is like our USB Type-C's, power button, other USBs, headset mic port. That's all on the case. And then after that, we'll probably do our fan cables, and then we'll do our power supply cables last.
Oh, you meant CPU.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Threadripper's CPU for servers? Yeah.
So Threadripper is for like workstation stuff. They can be used for servers, but there's also Epic from AMD, EPYC. They look exactly like a Threadripper. It's just their like server line or whatever, so.
Yeah, sir, I had never really truly been in a real server room until I was up getting lunch with a friend of mine when I was working at Microsoft in Redmond. And we went, and the fastest way to get around, instead of walking around all the offices, we just walked through the server room. Oh my God. The sound in there is insane, for starters. The amount of airflow is ridiculous. And he's like, oh yeah, watch this. And he pulls one out of it because they're just plug-in fans. He pulled one out, you can hear all the rest go, whoo! I'm just like, gee, this is what?
It's wild.
This is deafening. Yeah, it's crazy.
I used to work at a place that was a pretty big company. They did like tax software, and their server room they had like in the basement. And, you know, like in here we have a drop ceiling. Most people know what a drop ceiling is, with like the tiles that move in. They had that, but they also had like a drop floor. So it was all on like stilts with like heavy duty titles, and they were running AC all throughout the bottom to keep everything cool. Like it was pretty intense.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Tandy, I think it's Trendy Time says, what is this? This is a show. We do live builds on our shows and teach people how to build their own PCs. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays exclusively over here on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. And then on Thursdays, we're exclusively over on TikTok. So you definitely don't want to miss there. So welcome in. Glad to have you here. Right now, we're building a project for our friend Marcos in Florida.
Right.
Now, you're getting the exhaust fan on. Now, here's something interesting that I want to point out is that the venting on the back also aids in the removal of the hot air. So it will help act as a vent. Even though you only have technically one exhaust fan on there. Other thing to take note of, you'll notice at the very bottom of the case there is there's a raised section that is called a power supply shroud, or a power shroud. And underneath and behind that is where the power supply goes. And the reason you want to separate that is because then it prevents the power supply from sending heat into the main area of the PC and helps with the cooling process. I am loving the fact that you're using a drill.
Yeah, I'm less of a man than Zach. I'm not quite there with the ratcheting screwdriver. One of these days.
Someday.
I just kind of take my time here. I can't go as fast as Zach does. Zach could do this stuff in his sleep, so I got to keep the nerves down and just kind of relax as we go through this.
Yep. Now, the fan that he's mounting to that bottom plate is going to go and fit and slide just right back into the bottom there, and that's going to be an intake fan. It's going to help bring air up from the bottom into the main area of the case. The power supply will also have an intake fan on the bottom, and it's going to be pulling our air into the power supply and ejecting it out the back through its own fan. I almost said only fan. Best of luck on the PC adventures. Thanks, Trendy. Appreciate ya. Okay. Now, Zach has a very specific way of cabling fans. What's your approach?
So I just kind of did whatever was convenient for me before, but after seeing how Zach does it, that's how I'm going to do it. So when I plug these into our fan controller, this one right here is going to be fan 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There we go.
And it's nice to do that. That way, if one of these, maybe we turn this on and one of these fans isn't spinning, or it's spinning but the light isn't on, I'll know exactly where to look at on my controller box to troubleshoot. So
there we go. So Milano Cortina is where the Olympics are going to be held, which is going to be awesome.
Just Spain,
but
right?
I was Italy.
Italy. Shows you how much I know.
Milano's in Italy. And just to clarify, I was wrong on the first date. Thursday. Sorry, not this Thursday, but the Thursday after, February 5th, is when the women's hockey prelim rounds start. So the 5th and the 6th, the 7th, and then I believe it is on where is the men's?
Okay.
Men's starts on February 11th.
Oh, February 11th.
Yeah,
okay.
February 11th is when it starts. Yep.
Now, have they been doing like qualifier games up to this, like the World Cup, or does it just start like then? I haven't been following it. I assume it just starts then, because then all the players wouldn't be able to play on their teams.
Yeah.
In other games. Okay.
Yeah, because we've got, because when it comes to your nation's team, they bring in players from multiple different teams inside that region.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm
US,
excited to see.
And then Canada's team is going to be wicked strong this year, I think.
Yeah, you guys got Macklin Celebrini, my boy.
Yes.
The guy from the Sharks, the legend.
So, and it's interesting how much more attention there is on hockey this year. Ever since that show, it's just become, let's watch hockey.
I feel like hockey.
I've been having fun with it.
Popular, and they had like the Four Nations face-off this last year, which was cool. So that added a lot to it, I think. Yeah.
On Sunday Fun Day, which is what we do when we do brunch on Sundays, we go to a friend of ours' bar, and she has a sports bar, and there's like 9 different TVs, and there's always one dedicated to hockey.
Nice.
They're in the season, so I'm like, hey, that'll be fun. All right. Now we've got all our fans in. We're going to keep this cool, nice, and easy. So now comes the point of, and don't panic, cable management. Now this looks a lot crazier than it really is. So Paul, walk us through that organizational structure. How to best do this in stages.
All right, so this is already getting to be kind of a lot of cables, can be somewhat overwhelming for me still. So I'm going to ignore all my fan cables. I'm going to try to get them out of the way. Zach has this cool like magnetic screw holder where he'll bundle all these up and keep them out of the way. I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to do my best in my mind to ignore them. But I'm going to start doing my case cables like we talked about. So that's going to be all these coming down in the middle that you see here, this section. And then I'll get these bundled up, tucked away, and then I'll start working on my fan cables. So I'll try to do this so you guys can see it as well. We kind of work from both sides of the case when you're doing your case cables, because obviously they come out over here, but they plug in on the motherboard.
Yeah. I love the Velcro features. I think they're just great.
Yeah, the Velcro ties are really nice for keeping everything all clean. When you open this case brand new, they're all neatly tucked away in there. So open all those up, and then once we get it all sorted out and plugged in, then we'll use them again.
All right, we'll get those over there and get everything else plugged into its spot. Now, I personally had major questions about how do you know where to plug what in?
It's a good question. So everything is keyed a certain way. So you're not going to be able to plug anything into the wrong thing usually. So I'll go ahead and show you the front here. So I've already plugged in my HD audio, which is pretty much always going to be in this bottom left corner here. And then the next up is going to be our USB cables. So this blue one that you see, this is a 3.0, and then this smaller one is a Type C. Now a lot of motherboards are keeping these ports close together next to the 24 pin, so they're right here, so I can run them through the same spot. But there's going to be multiples of each depending on what motherboard you got. So like this is another 3.0. There's a bunch of 2.0s on the bottom, but I don't believe we're going to be using those today.
To answer your question, by the way, yes, it looks like there's prelims and then there's actual knockouts.
Okay, yeah.
So there's prelims and there's qualifier playoffs. So which is going to be very, very interesting. Those of you who are watching this year, Canada and the U.S., Canada will be going first up for the men's division, and that is going to be on February 12th around 1640 or 440 Pacific time, I believe. And then America plays Latvia. So it's going to be Canada versus Czechoslovakia and USA versus Latvia that day. It'll be very interesting to see how that rolls out, right?
They're going to get destroyed.
That is the idea.
We'll see. I don't know. All right, so I've got all my case cables plugged in. There was an RGB cable I plugged in down there at the bottom. So now I'm going to bundle those up and make them look all nice and neat, and then I'll move on to my fan cables. So.
Nice. There we go. Now, we still do have 2 other things to put in, but we're going to wait to do that until we get this taken care of. You want to make sure you get this organized and out of the way first. After this, we will take a look at the power supply unit and then our 5080 graphics card, which everybody loves. It's fantastic.
5080, such a great card.
Yeah. The other thing I'm looking forward to is the snowboarding. The freestyle.
Yeah. That'll be super fun to watch.
Freestyle snowboarding is always fantastic. Hopefully Gus Kenworthy, I don't know if Gus Kenworthy is competing again. I hope he is. Dude is insane on a board.
Is he? I don't know. I don't know any of the snowboarders now. I feel like the most famous one I knew of was like Shaun White back in the day.
Oh yeah. Yep. He dominated the category when he rolled into the Olympics. We were like, this is not fair.
Yeah. Just crushed everyone.
Yeah. I had somebody ask me the other day if I knew of what sport, what team has taken the gold 3 Olympics in a row.
3 Olympics in a row.
Yeah, 3 Olympics in a row, taking the gold. I'm not sure, but if anybody wants to Google that, I'd love an answer so I can make it sound like I'm smarter than I really am.
There you go. The viewers will help you. Winter Olympics or just all Olympics?
Winter.
Winter, okay.
Jason's going to get on this. It's going to be like, I've got the answer. I'll figure this out.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Summer's a whole different ball game.
Should probably plug in our power switch, huh? That's probably a good idea. Probably want
that would be ideal.
Maybe we saw that.
Okay. So, getting these all identified. And like you mentioned, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for the fans that are going to go into the fan controller. But he's got to get to that point first.
Yep,
Zip ties are your friend. Mm-hmm. One thing to keep in mind is that if you need to take apart your PC and either replace something or upgrade something, and you need to get into the wiring to do so, take a picture with your cell phone. Take a couple pictures of your cell phone of how the wiring is. And then when you clip the ties off, you can get everything back in the way it was supposed to be. You can keep it all nice and organized and to help that airflow constantly cool the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how Zach does this.
He's very good at it. He does a lot. So case cables are managed now. Now we're going to move on to our fan cables.
Is the Ram Heavy's minigun? It certainly costs as much. Yeah, I've had lots of conversations with people over the last week about cost of RAM. Nuts.
It is up there.
Okay, now getting those all plugged in. So this is what we call this. This is a fan controller. Fan controllers are needed to obviously control the fans, but it also helps control the lighting as well. So when you're putting this all in there, what's the best way to attach it or to mount it?
So a lot of times people will mount it right here. You can kind of do whatever. Most of them are gonna come with a magnet like this, but then there's also gonna be some adhesive strips that you can use to fix it to your case. I like to put it on my case somewhere. You can see the magnet could go right there, but I'm gonna get it all plugged in. I'm gonna route the wires where I want them to make them look neat, and then I'll put it somewhere. So I'll probably put it like right here. We'll see. I think Zach usually puts it right here, which is definitely not a bad idea.
There we go. Nice. You ever have that moment when you find like there's just one tiny little piece of hair that I missed in shaving my head, and now it's gonna drive me absolutely nuts. The whole rest of the day.
You gotta bring an emergency razor next to your desk.
I know, because I'm gonna have to start streaming and run upstairs and just
get it.
Get rid of it.
One hair.
My Hare Krishna one.
Don't want to be having a bad hair day, you know, DJ.
Oh yes, no, God forbid. Somebody told me, somebody messaged me the other day and said that when I'm streaming, if I'm getting all intense and I get a little bit shiny on my head, said my head looks like the head of a xenomorph. And I didn't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult.
The xenomorph, the things from Alien?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Shiny and smooth. But those things are drooling lubricant that's just grotesque.
They are.
I want to know how much they go through of basically the lube that they pour all over this thing as it's screaming and screeching and trying to bite at people. And it's just constantly dripping. I'm like, how do these things not become dehydrated? I don't understand.
Good point.
My dogs drool, but they're Great Danes. They're supposed to.
Right. There's a Diddy Party joke in there somewhere, but
I was going to wait for you to say it because Xenomorph, the official mascot of Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, it's getting all the cables up here. What you want to do when you're getting these together is definitely get them all tied into one bundle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do now. You can see it's quite a mess when you first start this. So I'm kind of getting them all to the same point in the build, like right up here. Put a zip tie around here to kind of make them all one unified cable there. And then I'll just work on bundling up the slack after that. It is kind of a frustrating part of the build if you're new to this, or you're not as fast as Zach is, you know.
Well, Zach's kind of a special case.
He's the GOAT. And then the other thing we're keeping in mind is this SATA power cable. I want that to be coming down here near the power supply, so that cable we don't have to run it super far or anything.
Oh, good call. Good point. Yes. So chat, who's got, well, let's start with who's got plans for this coming weekend? Because it's going to be a big one. End of the first month of 2026.
That's right.
I will say so far this year has not disappointed.
There you go.
It just every year gets crazier.
Sure seems that way.
Yeah. Yep.
It really does.
All right, now we're going to get these up here with our zip ties. Tiny zip ties are better than thick zip ties, people. Just FYI. So what are some other things that you love to watch in the Olympics there, Paul?
Probably, if it ain't hockey, it's going to be curling.
Dude, I love curling. Have you done it?
I've never done it. I can't really take it seriously, but I think it's awesome. I'm sure it's a serious sport, but it just looks so goofy.
There's a meticulous science to it, but I'll tell you what, I suck at it. I suck at it so bad.
Yeah.
Dark Soul Gaming says, question, can I use a power HDMI cord that is used on a PlayStation? Can I use it on a gaming PC?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, HDMI cords?
Any reason it would be like proprietary or anything like that?
Is it a powered HDMI cord? Because I'm not sure how that works. Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree. My mom loved curling.
Yeah, she loved curling. That's awesome.
But what always just blows my mind is understanding how the how the ice is going to respond. So that you're using the brushes to kind of get it to go where you want it to go, and you stop using it when you want it to slow down.
Yeah, does the brush make it speed up or slow down when they use it? What are they trying to do when they're using it?
I couldn't tell you. I was only allowed to throw the little thingy.
Yeah, I assume it like creates friction, which would cause the top layer of the ice to melt a little bit, but I don't know if that's speeding it up or slowing it down. I don't know.
Lefty Lou says, so clickbait or where is this 400K RAM? I have the faintest idea what you're referring to, sir. Lito, what's going on? Lito says, I recently switched from thermal paste to sheet for my CPU, and the temps are nice and chilly now. My 1200K is sitting at around 45 on air under heavy gaming load.
Oh my gosh, that's really good.
So I'm going to have to ask a question here. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know if it means like a sheet of the thermal paste. I'm not sure. Like, there's this stuff that come out that's kind of like single use. So that's what I assume it is, but...
Oh, that's what Lefty's talking about. Lefty's talking about the title of the show is CLX Horus Build. It costs $400,000 to use this RAM for 12 seconds. Yeah, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's a joke. I don't know if you priced RAM recently, but that definitely tracks. So, no, Lefty, if you don't have a sense of humor, I can't help you. But I appreciate you coming by. All right, let's talk about our graphics card. It is a great one because I love the graphics cards. This is going to be an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080 this is 16 gigs on it, and it's solid. It's a great card, but it's shorter than what I had anticipated. Oh, a cryo sheet is what Lito's talking about. So obviously, you want to make sure you take all the plastics and stuff off. But different cards of different sizes and of different weights. So as far as this goes, is this a 2 or 3 slot?
So this is a 2 slotter here. It's not super heavy either. This case does come with a built-in anti-sag bracket, so we will use that because it's there. But yeah, it's not super heavy. I'd definitely be comfortable just having this hanging out in there without one.
Okay. Now, once you get your graphics card installed, I want to point this out because this is actually a really cool power supply. This is the MSI Mag 850 watt 80 plus gold modular. Now there's 3 different types of power supplies. You've got your modular, your non-modular, and then your hybrid or sort of modular. How does that work?
So the modular power supply is like this one. None of the cables are pre-soldered in, so you can see it's just a power brick, and then all these extra power cables come in an accessory bag. So these are nice for building because I'm just going to separate out what we need versus what we don't, and it'll be less cables to manage. It'll give us a cleaner look in the system, all that good stuff. And then if the customer ever needs them, they'll have them with the accessories. So if they need like more SATAs for storage drive or different power connectors for a different video card, they'll have those if they need them.
Okay, so Lito mentioned a cryo sheet. What exactly is a cryo sheet?
I have never used one before, so let's see.
Oh my goodness, Lefty Lou. Then why are you still here? Anyways, so when you're putting this together, if for say your power supply goes out, do you have to change out all the cables with it, or can you just pull them out of the modular and then put them into the next one?
If you do not want to use these cables on anything other than this exact model of power supply, even if you're staying within the same brand, sometimes the 850 watt cables are different from the 1000 watts. So you want to be very careful and make sure you're only using the cables that come with that power supply.
There we go. All right. PC building in this economy, DJ Vertical says, yes, absolutely. That's the joke in the title. $400,000 to use this RAM for 12 seconds. Yep, that's about how much it costs these days. Dark Souls says a brand power A. Can I use their PlayStation HDMI card on a game PC? Will it hurt anything?
That was a tough
the brand
sentence.
is Power. Oh, the brand is Power A.
Power A? I've never heard of that brand.
The brand is Power A. That must be the brand Power A, and that's definitely a Paul question.
I'd never heard of that brand, but I assume it's fine. I don't think you plugging in the wrong HDMI is going to like fry anything or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just an HDMI cable. They're probably all the same.
Stu mentions, is a used PC for $175 with a 1060 Ryzen 5 2600 and 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM a good deal?
Yeah, especially if it comes with Windows already installed. Yeah.
Nice.
Because Windows is $100 right there. So there you go.
Let's see. HDMI have minimal power. Yeah, well, I mean, DisplayPort's got a little better handle on the power delivery, I think. But if your system's powered and your monitor is powered, there's no reason to have to. All I'm thinking of is an HDMI with a 2-prong plug-in somewhere.
Yeah.
Plug it in.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's see here. Ace Suiting says, I just got here. What is that case called? It looks really cool. This is a CLX Horus NV5 in black. They're amazing. The whole NV series is really cool. Yeah, the NV7s are bigger, and they're just freaking huge. But yeah, if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out on our website, clxgaming.com.
They do come in white as well. The white one looks really nice too.
Yeah. Yep. They're fantastic. We haven't done an NV7 in a while.
It has been.
And I don't think we have any of the NV9s.
I think we're kind of okay with that.
Right? They're so heavy. Yeah. They're so heavy. Oh my god.
They're really cool, but yeah, they're a lot.
Yeah.
If it's what you need, though, they're a great tool for that. But yeah.
Yep. HDMI says HDMI has minimal power. This is vertical. Super excited to see this upgrade. Appreciate you guys. Heck yeah, Monster Keezy. Absolutely. Dan, I was about to ask if it comes in white. It does. It does come in white. And you can, if you're going to get one in white, we can do some custom graphics on it or paint it. So there are all these options to personalize your machine.
That's right. Okay, we got our video card. How many SATAs do we need? We just need a couple SATAs. So yeah, we're almost there.
Dark Soul mentions, I'll be getting the Raw Tower gaming PC here soon. Wait till you see the specs I'm putting in it. Ooh, right. That's gonna be fun. You know how much I love. Here. You know how much I love talking specs. Vertical says, I know you said the graphics card isn't heavy, but are you still going to install a support bracket? Very excellent question.
Yeah, we will be. Since this NV5 comes with one pre-installed, this is it. Maybe we go down a little bit here. But what you can see my finger resting on right now, this is the pre-installed one. So this has a lot of good adjustability and stuff. So since we got one, yeah, we're going to use it.
Is it better to just, if it's already built in, just to use it regardless?
Yeah, you might as well. It's an extra layer of protection. It doesn't hurt anything by using it. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Now, final thing to put in there is our power supply.
Yeah.
Now, this is an 80 plus gold modular. There are multiple different levels of power supplies, though. And it starts with 80 plus. So what are those and how does that work?
Yeah, so that's the efficiency rating of the power supply. So how much power it's pulling out the wall versus how much it's actually using. This is related to how much your energy bill is going to be. How much does it cost to run? Now, it's not like a lot. If you go from like a bronze to a gold, you're not going to be saving a whole bunch of money. It might be like $1 a month or something like that. But we always recommend going with at least 80 plus. And then like if you're in like crypto mining and stuff like that, that's where you see those mining rigs have like platinum power supplies because they're really trying to be as efficient as possible.
Let's see here. Ace Suiting says, yeah, sadly I'm from India. I don't think you'll be doing international shipping. We do international shipping.
We do, yeah. You'd be surprised. I don't know if we've ever shipped one to India, but I feel like we have before. But you can definitely reach out to us. Reach out to one of our support guys. They'll be able to find out for you. Sorry, I don't have an exact answer for you right now.
Let's see here. I'm sure that using a bracket will also help keep the... Yes, the card seated. Dark Soul mentions I'm putting in a 5080 graphics card. Heck yeah, dude. That's going to be awesome.
Very nice.
Zombie bat. That's a fun thing to say. Zombie bat. How much is not being wasted as heat?
What?
how much is not being wasted as heat? I'm not sure what you're asking. Because, I mean, we want the heat to go away. That's the whole key. One thing to note from this angle, which is actually great, is notice how the bottom, this is the NB series, and what's great about them, they all come with that angled bottom like this. So it's higher in the back than it is in the front. You've still got clearance in the front, but you've got that higher lift in the back to really get that airflow come in and give it a little extra space. And of course, you've got these, the big feet bars down there that is going to help with isolating things.
The big
heat
feet.
from the the heat from the PS. I was talking about the 80 plus. It was got it. How much is not big? Oh, talk about the 80 plus rating. Got it. Okay, so listen, I'm it's job. The heat from the PSU. Well, that's one of the reasons why we have a PSU shroud as well. It's because it kind of just keeps the heat out away from the rest of the components.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the power supply doesn't generate a ton of heat or anything like that. It's probably not anything to be super concerned with, but you know, anytime you can help that is good.
I know that I open up the windows in my basement, or in the broadcast studio when I know it's going to be heavy gaming. If I'm going to be doing some Rainbow Six Siege or something, I know it's going to get
warm.
It's going to start cooking. Just a little, just a little. But luckily, I don't think I've ever gotten over 72.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
So, granted, we got that 13 fan.
That's right.
Cooling system in there. Let's see here. I'm getting the white Raw Tower Gaming PA because you are sold out of the black. The white one looks better. Ah, there you go. I mean, I went with the white build and then had it painted and designed. It's fantastic. Absolutely love this. Love it, love it, love it.
Look at that. Starting to really look pretty clean here.
Yeah, it is. It's looking real good. Looking real good. Let's see here. Yeah, honestly, the white ones are fun because the lighting really shows up differently. It legitimately shows up very differently.
It really does, yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love about, like, just even the Raw Tower that I have, the 011, is fantastic because of that. And as you can see, the lighting is all over the place. That's not even a performance. But something to keep in mind and consider if you guys are looking to do something that's going to be a really hot build is looking to see if it's possible for you to have a push-pull in your radiator. What that means is instead of 3 fans on one side, you've got 3 fans on both sides. One's pushing in, one's pulling out. And phrasing. But that gives you a much faster way of cooling down your radiator. So I have a push-pull in my system. Normally these come with, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10? Yeah, normally these have 10 fans in a build, and I've got 13. So always interesting to see what you can do when it comes to cooling on that level if you're not going to be in a space that's going to be cold. Let's see here. Vertical says 3 monitors, Mackie Onyx mixer, PC audio amp, and Xbox make a room hot real. Yes. Jeez. Yes. Yep. I bet you that Mackie also is a nice little toaster. But I'll bet you it works. It works real good. Oh, vertical. My channel 1 on my fader. My fader on channel 1 is finally dying. Yeah. And it is, of course, out of warranty now.
Oh, no.
Of course it all dies when it's out of warranty.
They designed it perfectly.
I'm trying to figure out what to do, whether it's going to cost me more to go and just get it fixed somewhere versus just sending it in and getting a new one. Well, I've got channels 2, 3, and 4. The problem is the way that the way things are set up is I use 1, 2, and 3 with 4 for effects. So now I'm going to have to try and do 2, 3, and 4 with 1 of the as the effects, so long as 1 is I can get volume out of 1. And that's the crazy part. So interesting. See, I support you guys. You have amazing gaming PCs and great accessories and specs. Dude, thank you. That's awesome. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
It is that's what we go for, right there. And we are getting so much closer.
Yeah, so
I've got that one cable. And is that the power cable for the 5080?
Yep, this is. So I'm going to bring this
that
forward.
Is slick.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just this new
That's
12-volt high
nice
power
and
cable.
small.
Yeah, so our back's very cleaned up. This case does really well with that. So, yeah, we'll just put our video card in, and we're pretty much done after that.
Sorry. Mentioned they just got a new system. Cool. Awesome.
Very nice.
All right. Now, this is going to be, this is a 2-slotter, yes?
Yep, this is a 2-slotter.
What's the biggest, the biggest graphics card you've ever worked with?
I believe it was a 4-slotter, probably back in like the 3090 days. There was some really big ones of those.
Yeah. There were some huge ones. I don't think there's been a whole lot of 4-slotters in the 40 or 50 series yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. We've kind of gotten to be a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
I know my head was kind of blocking it there for a bit, but there we go.
That just pops right in there. Make sure it gets a good click on it.
Easy peasy. Maybe my mic picked up that click, but there definitely was there.
That drill makes everything so handy.
Oh, I love it. And it's magnetic, so I don't got to worry about dropping the screw, even on those heavier ones.
Right.
And so obviously our anti-sag bracket is here, so we're going to go ahead and adjust this. Now you can adjust it up and down, and then this arm also extends out. So I'm going to take it all the way out right now just to loosen this set screw right here. And that will allow it to extend out and whatnot. So we'll tighten
I think it's really great.
in there.
I think it's great that case makers are starting to just include anti-sag devices as a default, because the cards are just getting so much more expensive, so much heavier.
Absolutely.
And might as well just say, screw it, put it in there and design it with it in.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, then it looks like you care about the consumer.
That's right.
Okay, we'll get that moved up there. So replacing the fader could be a DIY. If it's a drop fader, like on my old Newmarks, it was you simply pulled it up and then you plug the next one in. If this is a soldered situation, I don't do soldering. I don't know how to solder. Soldering scares the crap out of me. It's like, no. Way too much opportunity to screw way too much stuff up.
Alrighty, all I gotta do is put the panels on, and then hopefully this thing turns on. We'll make sure I did everything right.
Right on. Well, you get that all put together. I want to take all the rest of you on an adventure. We're going to go over to the website so I can show you. You can get your hands on a PC like this. At CLX Gaming, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to get the PC of your dreams that's going to do what you need it to do and make sure that it's future-proof for making sure it lasts a while. CLXgaming.com offers multiple different sizes, whether you're looking for something small form factor like a Scarab, a Horus, which is a mid-size, or a set, or all the way up to a Raw. They're incredible machines, and you get to choose and design it. Now, some people want to know what kind of things can I put in there. We've got everything. We've got Intel, we've got Radeon, we've got Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, Radeon, and ARC as options, and you can't screw it up. Here's why. Notice that little green button up there? In the event that you select something that for some reason isn't quite right, it's going to say solve conflict. So in this example, the power supply is not big enough for the graphics card. So it's basically saying, all right, if you want to use this graphics card, you have to use one of these power supplies. But if you really want to use this power supply, you have to use one of these graphics cards. Once you fix it all up, that little button goes back to green, and there you go. There's a lot of options of things that we can do with your PCs. Whether you want it customized, if you want us to add cable mods or extra drives, all sorts of fun things. We got cards, everything from audio cards to capture cards that you can choose from. Over in the Foundry area, which is great, we've got the option for you to either do an open loop or closed loop. You can upgrade your thermal paste. You want your GPU overclocked or your CPU overclocked or both? We can do it all. And then my favorite little area is the one at the very end, and that's the accessories. Sorry, my mouth almost went dry. First up, if you want to get an incredible CLX shirt, whether it's a shirt, windbreaker, hat, or knit cap, those they're all available there. And then you can look like you're hanging with CLX next time you're out and about. There's also pretty much anything and everything else that you could possibly think of. We've got keyboards, we've got mice, we've got controllers. Need an extra controller? There you go. And I mean, not just a regular gaming controller. I'm talking, we've also got flight sticks and things like that for different various games. We've got headsets and microphones. And the best thing is we offer Beacon Mix Creates and Beacon mics. So Beacon Mix Create is like a mixer that, for those of you who are content creators, it will help you really dial in and isolate all the different sounds and audio channels in your system. It's great. Their mics are absolutely fantastic. You need speakers? We got them. You want a monitor? We got some. And then as you go on all the way down there, we've even got routers and a chair. So literally, it is a one-stop shopping center for you to jump in with. Now, that might seem a little bit overwhelming. So that's why we have our RTS section, or ready to ship. The ready to ship section is divided into 4 groups: your entry, your mid-range, your high performance, your ultra high performance. And that gives you a great idea of seeing how much money it's going to cost for some specific elements. And then if you want to customize one of them, you can. Otherwise, these are all pre-tested, packaged up, ready to go, and they're looking for a home, and who knows? That home might just be yours. So for all of your future PC and gaming needs, head on over to clxgaming.com. See what we can do for you. All right.
Just
getting that
gotta
out
put
there.
the lid on. Boom.
Let's see here. So a vertical, it's a Denon X1850 Prime. That's what I got. Yori over on the YouTube side says, hello, I have a question. What to choose, AMD Ryzen 7 7700X versus the Intel Core Ultra 5 245K for everything playing, streaming, programming, and editing. So all in one PC.
I'd probably go with the Intel there, the Ultra 7, for all that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Depending on how many monitors you're going to have put together on this, it also is very interesting, because I think I have 4 monitors for my setup, 3 on one and then 1 on the other. But yeah, no, that processor will work very, very well for you.
Oh yeah.
Has some expensive RAM, says Temperance. I know. All right, let's take a look and see what we've got. Now you can only see the lights on the bottom coming out. Light, right?
Yeah, so those are lights from the motherboard. You know we've got power coming in, but it's not on yet. So 3, 2, 1.
Nice.
Beautiful. Love these NV5s.
That power shroud is so fantastic. That LED strip on there is just perfect. The way that the fans are, the way the color scheme is, I adore it. It's a fantastic thing. Get it? It's fantastic.
Fantastic. That's right.
There we go.
For those haters or those doubters who didn't know if I still had it, I still had it.
There you go. So normally the show takes place in two segments. Today we're not going to be doing an after show. We're just going to be hopping right over to my channel. But this show happens every Tuesday and Thursday, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's 2 Eastern. On Tuesdays, you can find us on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. On Thursdays, you can find us exclusively over on TikTok. For all things that are CLX Gaming and you want to find out more what's going on with us, head on over to our socials. That is YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at CLX Gaming. If you want to jump into Discord with a bunch of like-minded PC enthusiasts and gamers, discord.gg/CLX Gaming. And with that being said, there we go. So I want to say thank you to Jason and Kyle in production and Paul. I'm DJ Blue PDX. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Thursday on TikTok.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, just starting stream now on my end. He couldn't take a joke. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what is your fucking... Why are you still here then? Clickbait him. Oh. I think it's just funny. But, Jesus. That's funny. All right, I'm gonna go and bounce and get over to my stream, and I'll catch up with you guys next week. All right. Awesome. All right, thanks, guys. I'll catch up with you next time.